And when I tell you that Reels is the sole reason we're getting the exposure we are, it's because it is. So I've never had a Reel under 1,000 views for a content channel that has around 280 something followers. Massive difference and massive exposure for anyone trying to grow their brand. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever. That's a good start. This is a great start. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you happen to be watching this. Welcome, ladies, gents, and everyone in between, to the channel. I'm the Social Shogun, aka James Gale, founder of Shogun Digital, and today is a beginner's guide to Instagram Reels and why you absolutely need to be using them. A lot of business accounts and general creators need to be aware of the changes that have happened to these platforms and why you absolutely need to be adapting to the change because it's been awfully big. So, to give you some perspective on what Instagram Reels are, they're essentially Instagram's answer to TikTok, and they are heavily trying to keep up with them in the social space. So what they've done is created a vertical video platform with its own life on Instagram where you can upload 15-second, 30-second or 60-second Reels to be enjoyed by everyone. Now, as we know, TikTok has been absolutely smashing it in the social space, being the most downloaded app for the last year and a half, and it can't be underestimated by anyone in the business space, creator space, or if you're just trying to grow awareness for anything in general. Instagram Reels works in the exact same way. It's all a mix between audio, video, effects, and trends all weaved in together. Now, plenty of times on the platform you'll see people uploading their TikToks to Reels because at the moment Instagram Reels is very limited in terms of what you can actually produce creatively. But the reason this video is even being made in the first place is the importance of the reach on Instagram Reels. Now, for a usual piece of content, our channel has around 200 and something followers at the moment, so our Instagram account is very small because we're growing organically in the right way. And when I tell you that Reels is the sole reason we're getting the exposure we are, it's because it is. So I've never had a Reel under 1,000 views for a content channel that has around 280 something followers. Massive difference and massive exposure for anyone trying to grow their brand completely organically without spending hours following, unfollowing, engaging, posting, resharing, DMing. It can save a lot of time and give you a lot of extra brand exposure. And at this point, it's a kind of get it while it's hot kind of thing because Instagram are pushing this feature, but how long they're actually going to stay pushing it is something that I am not sure of. So while it's hot at the moment, I want everyone to be focusing on producing at least one Reel a day. I know it sounds hefty, but there's plenty of techniques you can institute to Reels to actually produce a higher volume of them and actually lean into the authenticity rather than overproducing massively like we tend to do here. I would aim for short, sharp 15-second Reels that hop on trends or focus very much on your educational side of things. So if you're a B2B business or something to teach, I highly recommend you get on and break down as many little tips as possible in terms of how to do this in 15 seconds, how to do this in 15 seconds. 3 tools we use in this industry, top 10 ways we do this. It's those little elements to really break down those barriers and open you up as more as a human, but in a very quick and digestible way, which are extremely important for growing on Reels, and they perform very, very well. Caveat to mention around how to use Reels in terms of audio and trending audio. Business accounts will not have the same access to music because of copyright complications. So when you try and hop on trends on a business account, you will not have the same access to songs and will not often be able to jump on the same trends. So there's certain things you'll have to do to navigate those waters, either using a different type, so a cover of a song, or audio that's trends that actually focuses a lot more on just the kind of audio, whether it's spoken word, whether it's something from a movie, but it's a small clip, so it's covered under fair use. These are all things you have to consider when you're figuring out what your content strategy could be. So if I was a business right now, what I'd want to be doing is breaking down as many useful, helpful tips, or even frequently asked questions, and using Instagram Reels in an up-paced way to really push those agendas and actually help your customer on the end. The reason I want everyone to double down on Reels at the moment, especially when it comes to Instagram, is there's 2 different subtle pieces of content types that people often overlook. One of which is growth content, and the other is consideration/conversion content. Now, what do I mean by that? So, content that can help grow your account, carousels, normal feed post, and Reels. Those are things that will help you get extra exposure for people that aren't familiar with your account yet. But on the flip side, we'll have conversion/consideration content. So that'll be your stories, your IGTV, some of your standard images, and your guides, and stuff people consume once they feel like they know you, and the stuff that really helps break down barriers, aka this video, which will be uploaded to IGTV. having those two types of content in a strategy is one of the most important elements of growth, and it's something that's overlooked. So a lot of people tend to stop and go, I actually just want to grow at the moment and I don't want to put out content that could be used for consideration or conversion, when actually whatever pipeline you have in place or whatever goal you have for your audience or however you want to serve them is not going to feel complete without that content for people to get to know you and to break down those barriers. You have to eliminate the barrier of a screen, and you have to eliminate people's distrust by opening up in a longer form piece of content, whether that's an IGTV live, a live stream, whatever it happens to be. People need to consume you, and if it's not a face in front of the business, then in any other way you can try and attempt it, please do. Break down those barriers between you and your customer and treat them as an audience instead of a customer. There are many clever ways you can kind of come at Reels. You could do stuff which is very kind of pointy, get on the trend, that kind of stuff, and really leverage the audio that you can. There's stuff that is directly talking to a camera, educating your audience on certain things. There's using and taking advantage of green screen. That could be a very important one if you have, let's say, top 5 destinations to travel to, or top 5 places we like to work, or top 5 favorite coffees, stuff like that can actually be quite useful, that you can edit on beat. And all of this is done via your mobile, so there's nothing crazy you have to do. You don't have to get a massive camera out, and don't overthink it. You really need to lean into your authenticity and improve each and every reel. And we want to do these reel sprints to get a much higher level of people flowing through to your account, so they can then find the content you've had there before. Instagram hasn't really had this level of discovery in previous videos, and that's something that's very important to think about. Is we've always had feed posts, reels, and just your standard feed videos, but they haven't really been a really good fuel for growth. But Reels is finally that chance for us. So while it's hot, let's all double down on Reels, sprint as much as humanly possible, get that reach in, find that new audience, and let them consume everything about you. And then hopefully they become your customers, audience, or whatever you want at the end. And that was a very top level summary of Reels. Obviously there's a ton more to dive into. I might be doing separate videos later on kind of top 5 ideas for different Reels, or how to jump on certain trends. And if you check our socials, you'll see kind of trends pop up. We often post regular updates, so if you're keen on that, just let us know. But yeah, subscribe, comment, like. I want to figure out what you guys think about Reels. It's a really important factor for us to actually figure out how people are approaching it, what are your thoughts to it. Do you think it's going to die off as just another clone attempt via Instagram? Or do you think it's here to stay and they're actually going to be tackling TikTok for a very long time? Love to know your thoughts. Drop them down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.